Welcome dear learners. Today we are going to study pharmaceutical emulsions. After watching this PPT, you will able to understand definition of emulsion. You will able to classify the types of emulsion and you will able to know the methods to identify the types of emulsion. Before going to study the emulsions, try to remind the types of liquid dosage forms. Take a pause, write down on the paper, and after completion, start the video again. Hope you have finished the activity. The types of liquid dosage forms are monophasic dosage forms, which are solutions are the example of that, and another liquid dosage form is biphasic liquid dosage form, where emulsions and suspensions are the example of biphasic liquid dosage forms. Now we will start with the definition of emulsion. Emulsions are the biphasic liquid dosage form, which are thermodynamically unstable liquid dosage form in which two immiscible liquid phases are stabilized by using emulsifying agent. These two phases, one is aqueous and another one is oily phase, which are also called as internal and external phase, or they may be known as the continuous phase or discontinuous phase accordingly. Now we will classify the emulsions. There are different types of emulsions. Simple emulsions, also known as macro emulsions. There are two subtypes. Oil in water emulsion, known as O by W type of emulsion, and another type is water in oil emulsion, which is known as W by O type of emulsion. Another way of classification is multiple emulsion, that is oil in water in oil, which is also known as O by W by O type of emulsion, and another way is the water in oil in water, that is W by O by W. These two are nothing but the multiple emulsions. How to identify the types of emulsions? There are different methods. 5 methods are enlisted here. First one is the dilution test. Second one is the dye solubility test. Third one is conductivity test. Fourth one fluorescence test. And last one, that is cobalt chloride filter paper test. One by one we will see dilution test. If emulsion is diluted with the external phase, that is water, it remains stable, then water is external phase and emulsion is O by W type, that is oil in water type of emulsion. If phases are separated, that means if the emulsion is diluted with water or oil and the phases are separated, then we can say the type of emulsion is different one. Second one is the dye solubility test. See here, water soluble dye or oil soluble dye, they are used. We will take one example here. Water soluble dye, for example amaranth solution, if it is mixed with the emulsion and the emulsion is observed under microscope, then as the dye is water soluble, it will miscible with the water and it gives color to the water. Hence, in the case of water as an external phase, it will give color to the external phase, and hence in the picture we are observing that the external phase is red and the internal phase is colorless. That's why we can immediately identify the type of emulsion is O by W. In another figure, as the internal phase gets colored with the red color of amaranth solution, that means water is internal phase and the type of emulsion is water in oil, that is W by O. Next is the conductivity test. We all know the property of water, that water is a good conductor of current or electricity. Here the test is carried out like the two electrodes connected with the battery and bulb are placed in emulsion and current is passed. If the bulb glows, then we can say that water is external phase and the emulsion type is O by W. If bulb does not glows, means the oil is an external phase and the emulsion will be water in oil type of emulsion. Fourth one is the fluorescence test. The property of oil is it gives fluorescence against the ultraviolet light, while water does not have this property. In a test tube, take a emulsion and observe against the ultraviolet light. If the whole test tube shows the fluorescence, the type of emulsion is water in oil. If the dotted fluorescence is observed, that means oil is an internal phase and water is an external phase, and we can easily identify the type of emulsion is oil in water. Last one, that is cobalt chloride filter paper test. Here the filter paper is soaked into cobalt chloride solution and dried it. Definitely it will have a blue color. This blue colored filter paper, when dipped into the emulsion, and if the color changes from blue to pink, it indicates the emulsion is water in oil in water type, and if it remains unchanged, it indicates the type of emulsion is water in oil. So with this we conclude